Okay, right here we have our image render. Notice actually it's take only 21 minutes, so it's not that bad. And I'm just looking at some lighting, so it's look like okay in some cases. This is very good base for backdrop. You don't want to have it too much detail, so we can customize, but at the same time we have it enough lighting and good details. So right here we have it where we extend it. Actually done very good job to this piece, so we can even pull more. We have some lightings elements around. I think this is look good. So now I'm going to save, and I'm going to save as PSD Photoshop format, and also I'm going to save as HDR, high dynamic range image, and we'll process high dynamic range afterwards, so you can see why we want to save this way. Okay, so right here let's go save as HDR, and we can also verify options. So okay, disable tone map. We don't need tone map it for this yet. Okay, and now let's go save as Photoshop PSD. You can save also as TFF. Usually I say PSD because it does preserve alpha map. I don't think in this case we need it, but again it's just habit kind of to save the specific way. So right here details, I'm looking, I should actually maybe make these pipes a little bit more reflective metallic, so we can go over some of these details later if you need it. And this station right here, I can see it's coming, but I don't worry too much about those lines because this is our model will be probably standing around here, this area, or maybe right there, and we'll add some additional fog to this. Okay, so let's go ahead inside the Photoshop and Photomatic Pro, and we'll go to process there. Okay, so right here is our image, HDR image in Photomatic Pro, and this is actually different. If you look on Photoshop, see how we have nice, hazy, kind of smooth colors. If we look again in Photomatics, right here, so you'll notice we'll bring more details. Again, this is not compressed image. Vue, when it's rendered quite a bit extensive on the lighting, so we have it way light. Beyond that, we can reproduce on the monitor currently, and shadows. So by tone mapping, we can bring some of those details that are invisible. Even right here, you can see already it's a darker, but if we look on some of those details, you can see how we can bring a little bit more greenage and other stuff into our image. So let's go to adjust a couple things, and this is kind of preset that I'm working on, just a little bit more lighting adjustments going from the points. If you notice right here, we're going, it will be uniform and kind of bring those a little bit more spotlights. Again, if you're interested in Photomatic Pro, I have free tutorials. You can check this application. You can do same things in Photoshop. I'm just like the controls inside Photomatic a little bit better. So some I can just move highlights. Let's pop up gamma a little bit up. So we'll bring a little bit more out of shadow some of those elements. Black point, I think we had nice kind of almost to 0. So we'll save this one, and we'll look on a white point on the highlights on this. We'll just bring maybe around this area. Overall, I don't look for the haze, I look for those scratches like right here. This, see how they come up with textures? So this is what I'm looking for those details would be a little bit lost. Okay, let's increase macro smoothing and see some of the details were lost. So let's take macro smoothing away back. Okay, and no, this is too much saturation on the highlights. We'll just kind of bring them down a little bit. I think this is good. Let's go click apply. And also right now, this is our image, and we can also adjust at this point again if we want to bring some curve on specific lighting. Bring highlights up maybe a little bit. As well, we can increase shadows, but shadows already dark, so we don't need to worry about this. And mid kind of darkens, maybe just a little bit contrasting right here. Okay, let's go sharpen. Okay, right here, and we'll take increase sharpness. Okay, I think this is done, and we'll just go File, Save. So, and it will save as TFF by default in same directory. So at this point, we can go inside the Photoshop, and we can bring this image that we just created. Okay, and let me be sure it's right there. Okay, and right here we have it HDR, normal and HDR. You can see we lost some of the haziness, that's what I want to preserve, but we achieve a little bit more details, and I will bring those details with a painting. So we enable, we'll make a mask. We invert that mask by command on Control I. Take just brush, soft round brush. We want to be sure it's a 10 or maybe even a little bit below. Okay, we can use it increase size, and right here we can start brushing in some of those details, and mostly I want those poles whose look a little bit nice. Okay, so let's go pop up to 20%, and you can see how like right there where it was too smooth, it's kind of bring this nice details to ours. So let's give it this greenish, give it a little bit more interesting realism on details. Again, I don't know if I want to touch maybe just a little bit on a bag, but not too much, because I like this haziness there. But on a close-up right there, I want to add this greenish kind of effect that was. Okay, and also right here. So again, you can see it's brought, smooth out some of these highlights. I don't like that highlight, so it's smooth out a little bit this highlight, and we still preserve a little bit right there in the end. Okay, so right there is our basic setup background. So next, what we're going to do, it is select model, and we'll go to work with the model to put it inside here, work and so on, work with shadows, and based on this we may add additional stuff. But just overall, here's the image, and remember, when we add, you can always, if you want it, look on this as different colors. Don't just look example as one. So you can always modify, like for example, we can add this, kind of tone adjustment, and you can see how much we can create environment with the coloring. But we'll do this in the end when we're done with everything. So again, just remember, this is our base, and we'll add a little bit more stuff to this.